Hi all, welcome to another Chess24 Banter Blitz. Before getting into playing, let's have a look at the voucher code Kingscrusher. So you can get 15% off, whopping 15% off for going premium if you use this voucher code. So it's not just me, but any other streamer you might want to play. Then you're eligible to challenge any streamer. You just turn up like 20 to 30 minutes beforehand and send your challenge off, and it goes into our challenge queue. So I've already got a few pending challenges, for example, and I'm going to switch now to the challenge screen and just run through them. So Kaz, good morning Kaz, is the first one on my list. Hi there. Okay, let battle begin. Can I play an Albin counter Gambit? I quite like playing this sometimes. This was used by Paul Carez, but probably not with c5. c5 is thought to be a bit of a dubious reputation. Knight c6 is usually preferred. So Paul Carez experimented with things in correspondence style chess, and it turned out, yeah, he did kind of play the Albin counter Gambit in one or two correspondence style games. I think in Estonia he was a bit cut off from the main over the board world, and so started with correspondence before becoming a major, like the Crown Prince of Chess. But anyway, back to the Albin counter Gambit. Modern grandmasters, Morozevich has played successfully, I believe, with the Albin counter Gambit, but it's not seen at the top levels. It's thought to be pretty unsound. White's playing on the light squares in particular, like even here, is pretty good usually. So h7 is a bit of a problem. The f-file dynamic is interesting at the moment. I think I've locked down b4. This is in my favour. I think this bishop's not usually that blunted on b2 as it is here, so I'm happy with the overall picture here of the position. Let's get this pawn out the firing line. So I'm thinking queen c7 and maybe even double rooks without a nuisance knight g5. So I think h6 I wanted to, mind you, g4. Okay, then I'd have to sack with knight takes g4. I believe so. I'll follow this plan. So I'm prompting g4. There's no retreat of the bishop or anything. I have to sack. I'm thinking I've got dynamic compensation here because I wanted to underline the f-file trump card from the opening. So with this sack, I think it does put an underline for that. It does not try and lose a rook though. Here. Oh, this is getting dangerous with the check. Okay, my queen is holding the rook. I'm happy that the bishop's blunted, really. It's two pawns. Bishop h7 isn't immediately winning because the rook's holding f8 as well. So that's good to know. So how do I intuitively increase the pressure here with that pin piece? I think ideally to unpin, try and get the rook back and then play bishop d6. I think the bishop was useful on this diagonal. Okay, so that's looking a bit scary. f3's hanging here. If that bishop was eyeing here, then queen h6, but it's not. It would be pinning the g7 pawn. So I'm wondering why I can't play bishop f3. I can't see rook f8 working. So I think bishop takes f3 here. I hope I'm not missing anything. Probably a bit more calculations would be reassuring in such a position, actually. Maybe some laziness because the bishop's locked in. I don't think that's participating here because otherwise queen h6. Some laziness crept in there. But it does seem as though rook takes f3. Now here, okay, let's check. Rook f8. Rook f8. I can't see it. Now queen f7. I think queen f7 is a good idea. Let's see. Rook f8, queen f8, bishop h6, g takes. I think queen f7. Am I wrong? I'll be pawns up, wouldn't I? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll be 2 pawns up. It depends if... And the bishop's hanging after taking. Bishop g6, rook f6. There's no bishop b5. I'll probably need to try and get out of this pin somehow. Queen e4 holds the bishop and protects the rook. Yeah, there's rook takes f2 there, though. For rook f1 check. So, checking the forcing moves is the first level of reassurance if there's no major forcing moves going on here. Bishop takes h6. Queen takes. Bishop takes. Oh, thank you, Kaz. Okay, yeah, it does seem as though it might be just 2 pawns down. Thanks. Zaba. Let's play an English opening here. I'll play e4 to try and discourage d5, I think. So this line's popular anyway. I've seen this line being quite popular. I think there might be a Leela chess game in this line. Yeah, I didn't want to help black's development there with FG. I think that might help. Or queen e2, bishop e6. I don't want to help black's development. The centre seems a bit fragile. I don't want any bishop b4 check particularly. Maybe I can just do this and check and then castle. I don't want to allow CD, CD and then check. Okay. Well, this looks very comfortable because bishop g5 is in the air here. Does black waste another move? So I could play this with the idea of bishop g5. Okay, let's see. Does black have to waste another move? Bishop g5. Right. Okay, so CD for a moment. Okay, okay. I think it's comfortable in some respects. Of course, the isolated queen's pawn is a concern. Maybe bishop e4 is an idea here. Actually, bishop d5 might be a nuisance as well. I'm thinking bishop e4. Yeah. Now maybe d5 coming up. d5. d5. Maybe not here. Again, my d pawn is a concern. d5 here maybe. This d pawn could turn into a strength, potentially, instead of a liability. If it's allowed to, you know, you can imagine the bishops getting swapped off. If this pawn was on d7, it would peg c8 and e8 quite naturally. Okay. I guess. Do I aim for that? Takes d6, d7 after. I think I probably aim for that. As mentioned, if it's on d7, it's pegging c8 and e8. So if my queen was on this diagonal, rook e8 would be more effective as a threat. But in the meantime, how would I get the queen usefully on that diagonal? That's just one idea. Queen d6, rook e7 does facilitate doubling the rooks without losing d7. If I played queen d6, rook e7, I could then double the rooks for rook e8. Maybe that's a great plan. Queen d6 to start off with. So idea, rook e7, lateral row pressure, double the rooks, which means if rook e8, rook d7, in that position, yeah, queen f8 takes. Problem with queen j8 or queen h8, there's always king g6. If I was to swap the pawn for an invasion on the 8th, the king's coming out, I think. So let's have a look at that again. Okay, queen e7 or queen c7. Maybe queen e7 here, just to see what black's doing for a moment. Maybe rook d6 is handy. Okay, it's intriguing. I'm trying to think like the chess as well. I'm thinking if you lock down one thing, can you just lock down something else later? Can I lock down the king side? For the moment, I think rook d6. And let's see, where does the queen actually concretely go? f6 weakens the 7th rank. Alright, now can I lock down these pawns? g3, h4, possibly with h5, queen h5, rook f6. I'm not sure that's achieving anything. There is rook e3 to g3 here, hold on. Rook e3 to g3. That's 7th rank weakening of g7. Rook g3 here. This is ideal. Check king h2. I'm coming in with rook g3. That looks pretty ideal to me. Rook g3. Rook g6, it just seems a very comfortable attacking position with the d pawn. I don't think the 2-to-1 pawn majority means too much at the moment. Okay, so rook g3 there's even no check. I think this is very comfortable to play rook g3. Oh, resigned. Okay, I can't see immediately a winning move. Let's cheat. Let's stick the engine. It's finished. Anyway, the game's finished. I shouldn't say the word cheat. Let's have a look. What does the engine think here? Anything super clinical? I don't think queening works, does it? Because of this pin. It doesn't work. I can't do this because of that pin, as you can see here. The top move, incredibly, seems... Oh, it did mention rook f3, rook e3. Actually, there doesn't seem to be a concrete knockout blow. This pin is holding things in place at the moment for black. I can nudge the queen to c5, and there's still a pin. It's not over yet, you know. It wasn't over yet. Okay. Thanks for the game. The great shelling forward. Okay. What do I try against him? Oh, I don't know. That's trickery in the opening with knight c3. Try and throw him off. And then transpose into the Vienna game with knight f6, which I don't mind. I've tricked him. I've played this Vienna game before, but I think so has he. Maybe it wasn't that pretty, the games. If he's thinking about queen h4, it's a success for me, because I don't think that's a particularly brilliant line, queen h4. I did this Andrew Hon video. I was actually sitting next to Andrew Hon, Lloydsbet Masters, and he beat GM Van der Sterren, I think, in the Vienna game. If you want to check out that video on my Kingscrusher channel. This game against Van der Sterren, I sort of became very fond of the Vienna game after that, because it was a big, you know, Andrew Hon was a very, very strong junior for Barnet Knights. There's a great crop of juniors there, and he basically nearly had a GM norm, not just an IM norm, in this Lloydsbet Masters, and one of his key games against Grandmaster Van der Sterren in the Vienna game. Now, I don't know about the tactics here necessarily. It does seem odd to me, this position. It's not usually like this. This Gambit, this doesn't usually happen as far as I'm aware. If I can emerge with a trump card of the dynamic F file, I think it's going to be a fun position potentially. Got to watch out for D4 collapse. Right, if I hold this for a moment. Now that does support the idea maybe queen e1 to g3. Knight c6 is possible though. I thought knight c6 might have been more to the point myself because of d4 pressure. Can I not just kick this thing? It goes back to g6, then I play e6, then fe, bishop takes, king h8. Okay. Yeah. I was more concerned about d4 pressure. Now here there is bishop f7 and hg. This might be worth checking out. Oh, there's a comfortable outpost on d5. Maybe that's the positional point that black gets knight d5 in. I see. I think I'd rather keep my pressure on f7 and not activate the black rook. If I play g4 and then e6, anything cooking there? I'll have to check. Knight e5, yeah. I think e6 here is fun because of knight e5. The problem with knight d5, it's also not hitting e5, so this is welcoming knight e5 potentially. If I played queen e2, unless there's anything stronger, maybe I'll take on f7 first. Try to weaken the diagonal a bit. Then queen e2 or queen d3 maybe for queen d3. Bishop g6. It's making that a pin, bishop g6. So maybe something like queen b5. Bishop f7, knight e5, knight e3, knight f7. Hits the queen. Okay. Have I... should I take on c3 just to regain some pawns? My g3 is a bit weak. Queen could come in. King g2. This is a chance. Let's take on c3. Three, 4, 5, 3. Equal on pawns. Maybe it's not much to write home about though. Oh, there's rook a5 here. Is that handy? That could be. queen e4. Rook a5 could be a nifty way of doing something. Queen e4. I'll check that out. Rook h5. Maybe queen d3. Okay, rook a5 is possible here. I'll go for it here. Well, it seems possible here. Queen e4 could be a pain. Queen e4, the pain of queen e4. It's a nice central move. Maybe my rooks are misplaced. Alright, king g2, queen f4 is starting to be nasty. Okay, maybe just double pawn. Oh, this is horrendous. But I'm offering double pawns. It's not pretty. Queen f4 is very dangerous. Queen f4. It's a bit panicky about queen f4 there. Sort of unpin, nearly. Oh, the e file looks to be a major concern. Let's take this e file while I can. Uh-oh. I didn't mean that. To lose an exchange. Oh, it's end of game. Well played. Yeah, no, I got loads of weaknesses there. I was optimistic for a moment. A load of weaknesses. Well played. Okay, on I somehow I was overestimating my chances. Clearly, the weak dark squares probably didn't help. H3 G4 is weakening light dark squares. I think I was trying to justify that concretely with E6. That was just left. Yeah. Okay. I have played this before. This kind of aggressive thing. A Nakamura line. Stacking the knights if needed on c3, but it was pre-Nakamura. This was played by what was it, Velimirovich, according to Andrew Martin. I think Velimirovich played it a long time. I think he commented it played it a long time before Nakamura did, this kind of knight sack. So knight g5 and bishop c4. Or queen h5. So there's a threat of bishop c4, possibly, and queen h5. I think bishop c4 might need addressing. On e6, I want a queen h5 hits f7, h7. I think it's a reasonably dangerous position. So up and coming Nakamura beat this GM. I think Foxwoods opened with this thing. Okay, but I'm going to be careful here. Yeah. King move, there's always knight e5. So what about the poxy looking c3? Maybe that does the job, c3, more than other moves. It's poxy looking, but it does the job of keeping bishop c4 alive. I think I'll play this poxy looking move. Hang on, there's also rook f4 here. Rook f4, queen h5, eyes queen e8 potentially. h6, queen e8. Right, queen h5 here. This rook f4, queen e8, rook f8, rook f4, queen h7, king f8. Castling queenside. Is that terrible? Alright, I can take here, because I take the queen actually. I've just realised. Or he can simplify by taking my queen. I guess he simplifies. I could have simplified with knight d3, not knight f3. Okay, okay, I'll try this. Right. I think it's okay, this position, for a moment. Queen g6 is threatened to win the bishop, right? Queen g6. Okay, so if I play rook c1 for a moment. I'm thinking g4, g5. Rook c7 is also attractive. Probably rook c7 is an idea. Just to try and get in rook e7. Back of my mind, okay, g4, g5. Queen g6 doesn't seem to achieve anything. The check, king f8. So, do I need more pawn power? Maybe g5. So the knight's kind of pinned to the rook. This bishop's holding from there. That's sneaky, isn't it? Okay, I'll close here for a moment. Bishop's sneakily holding f7. I'll drag this bishop away from f7. Try again to drag the bishop away from f7. Oh, there was f6 as well. Hitting both bishops. I've just missed f6. Okay. Now there's queen f7. And then queen g7. Alright. Thanks for the game, on M. It's a fun line. Chess energetic. 2712, chess energetic. Is it available? I'll give 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, 5 seconds are up. Okay, on to the next game. I'm not being a chicken. We've got a ruthless schedule. Honestly, I'm not trying to be a chicken. We've got a ruthless schedule here, guys. You might wonder why I'm laughing. Okay, is it because I don't want it handed to me? You might be thinking I don't want it handed to me. Look, I would apply that 5-second rule to anyone, right? You've seen me apply the 5-second rule, yeah? I'm fair, you know, as long as it's consistent, it's fair, right? I think you're super chicken now. Ah! I can't argue. Maybe subconsciously there was a chicken decision. Subconsciously there. Okay. No, but seriously, 5 seconds, and I think I'll go on to the next challenge as a policy, really. I'll just reinforce that policy here. Right, 98. Okay. I'm thinking of that film Back to the Future. He's called a chicken. He didn't like it. It rolled him to be called a chicken in Back to the Future. The main guy. Alright. Okay, EDCD. EDCD, the knight's holding D6. H6, G5 coming up. H6, G5. Bishop D7, Bishop C6. Okay. Bishop D7 to C6. Possibly. No, H6 he just takes. Surely he just takes. Bishop D7 to C6. Is that viable? If I can get away with Bishop C6, I'll be going F3. Knight moves somewhere. Oh, there's Knight D4. Bishop G2 would be desirable probably to get rid of. Okay. It's good. E6 is held by the knight. This is a little bit uncomfortable. Knight takes, rook takes D6. So let's do this. Knight G5. Let's do this, I think. So I know that C5 is held, helping hold E6 for a moment. That's important here. Otherwise I'll be falling to bits. It's good that there's no B4 either to nudge the knight. H6 for knight E4. There is a queen F2 winning at the end of this. I played H6 and he took here. I take, takes, queen F2 winning. Bishop C6 first takes, yeah, same sort of queen F2 scenario with queen G3 after. Or I think there's an option of HG on Bishop C6. Bishop E4, the pawns are doubled. It might actually be better to invite knight E6, knight E6, queen E6, queen F2. King moves maybe to H2. Oh no, if the bishop's not there, king goes to H1, queen G3, queen E7, rook F7. What about white just plays knight E4 here? That seems a solid move. Just knight E4. That's annoying. Oh, because Rook d8 is not working because of knight c5, that pin. So d6 is in trouble, it seems. d6 is in trouble. I could take and then rook d8 maybe, just to hold d6 for a moment. d5, weakening some dark squares with d5. However, this might be interesting. e5 on the other hand might be more interesting here. e5. I'm wondering, f takes queen e5. Seems a bit securer than d5 on the dark squares. This position, I hope, is reasonable. If I take on e3, take on g2, knight f6, it's positioning a bit suspect. If I drop back, there's queen e7, there's rook f7. Maybe bishop takes g2. There's queen e5 and then rook d8 after. And then there's another pin here, so try and avoid total disasters in the position. Maybe just knight f6 for a moment. I thought you'd gang up on d6. Didn't gang up on d6. Alright, this ending, how is this? Is it dangerous for me? I'll do something with these pawns, get them advanced for rook c2, I think. Oh, okay. That's advanced enough, because I'm losing my pawns over there. Okay, 2 connected past pawns is a good sign, signal, sign. Right, drag through with b3 here. I'm hitting h3 as well. I'm happy at the moment, I think. Should I be? a3 is going to be good, surely. For a2, this is pretty quick for a1. Right, he plays rook b3, I guess. I could play rook takes g7. Oh, thanks again, that was pretty tense, yeah. That rook and pawn ending, I think I did a reasonable thing. I knew d6 was gone. I just wanted to prepare the pass pawns for rook c2 there. That was my immediate thought, really. To try and get those pawns emphasized. Try and emphasize your own pass pawns. Even if material down doesn't sometimes matter. You just try and emphasize the speed of your pass pawns. Okay, can I take here for bishop d3? King h1 or bishop g5. Bishop g5 might be a nuisance pin. I wonder. There's not going to be g5, is there? Okay, just in case there's g5, I'll hold e4. Just in case g5 is actually good. Okay, e5 here is interesting almost. Bishop g3 is interesting as well, though. E5 is an opportunity. Bishop g3, d6, for example. Then there's no e5. e5 immediately. Knight d5, bishop g3, or knight g4, bishop g3. Bishop c5, though, and that pawn's weak. Or is it? Is there rook e1? Is there d6? Oh, there's knight e4 there as well. This could be an... Okay, I'll take the opportunity for e5. So let's imagine knight d5, bishop g3. This should be okay, shouldn't it? It gives me access to h5 now. The knight's been driven from h5. So I think I've got queen h5 on the cards. Right, there's also knight e4 with tempo. So queen h5 would give rise to bishop h4, knight f6, for example. I think this is comfortable. If I can reinforce e5, I think there's bishop h4, knight f6, gf, ef. It's sort of a form pawn. Form pawn on f6 plot. Okay, this is not happening now after d6. He's getting rid of my form pawn. How annoying. I can win d6 though. That is kind of pretty strong to win d6, knight d6. The rook protects f7, knight f7, rook f7, bishop h7, and that sort of thing is dangerous. I think just winning d6 for a moment. Knight d6, rook e7, rook f8, which is a rook e7, knight f7, rook f7, bishop h7, if king h7, queen f7, if king f... There must be better there. Bishop h4 just has queen d6. What about this rook e1? Nope. There's queen h4 here. I think I'll just use queen h4 for a moment. Bishop c4 for rook ad1 looks effective. Bishop c4, rook ad1. Here there's knight f5. Knight c8, bishop f5 might win an exchange though. Either queen c8, bishop f5, rook c8, bishop f5. I'll probably win an exchange as an idea. Just check this. Any forcing moves? Queen d4. My queen's protected by the bishop, so I think that affords things when the pieces are protected. Bishop f5. Okay, if I'm winning the exchange, it looks okay to win the exchange here. Yeah, what happens here? What happens? Rook goes to d6, bishop c8, queen c8. Okay, it's hitting my queen. I'll take the queens off first and then bishop e6. I'll take the queens off first and bishop e6. Let's check. I'll pre-move safely with bishop e6, I think. I want the exchange of rooks. Now if there was a pawn on h3, then knight g3 would be winning a piece back. So f2 under fire. For the moment. Alright, can I kick this pesky knight away? Knight g3 hg. Knight c5 b4 and then rook e6. Knight g5 h4 and then rook e6. Knight f6 rook e6. Oh, that does win an exchange back, Muppets. Back to square one. Oh, mind you, I'm 2 pawns up. It's maybe back to square 2 or 3 then. I'll try for b4. If he plays c5, it blocks in the bishop, then b5. Alright, can I exchange off this king f7? Right, let's just do this then. Eyeing g7. f3 for bishop f2 comes to mind. If he ever moved the bishop, bishop c5. Bishop c3 is not threatening mating at the moment, so bishop f2. If I have bishop c5 gives king f2 after rook e1, so bishop c5 is on. Right, I guess. Fix these pawns. h5. Try and fix these pawns. Am I losing pawns? g5, if takes g6, I'm mating with rook d8. Well, so I thought, no, there's rook f8. Okay, it's a trapped king almost. Right, get my king up. Get the king away from g5 for a moment. Bishop f8 threatens. Oh, hang on. No, there's time. He hasn't got king g5, so bishop f8, king g5 takes. I think there's time. No, there isn't. I can take here. I'll take on b6. Get 3 connected pass pawns here. Right, pass pawn there. Bishop d4. Pass pawn here. Stop bishop e5. Okay, we'll get the king up. I think c7's just get this bishop, get that pawn. Get my oh, I hope that person stops ringing. Please stop ringing. Okay. Okay, thank the Lord. Okay, it stopped ringing. Alright. I can't accept non-premium challenges, by the way. So if you want to challenge me, please be a premium member. Okay. See Zaba. G4. For f5, there's knight e5 after. Knight e5, queen g3. Alright, so any taking on g4. Is, well, Lila would approve, I think. It just opens up some lines. The advanced neural network. I mean, I've seen lots of games like this. Just sack the pawns. Okay, just sack the pawns sometimes. Okay. Okay, that's good. Bishop e2. h4. If I invoke h5. It's looking good in some respects. d5 for knight d5, queen d3. There's a b4 for, yeah, pushing the knight. Take on f6 for knight d5, queen d8, knight f6, ef, h5 after. If I want to play that now on knight d5, it's here that I would have to play bishop f6. Probably now then. h5, g5, h6, form pawn, bishop h8. That bishop doesn't look happy. There's knight e7 checkmate there. So h6, bishop h8, knight e7 is checkmate. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, but it was a dangerous position for black. Okay. King safety, guys. King safety. It's alright learning about pawn structures from Peter Vidler and all the other GMs, but king safety, you know, down to earth for your club chess. Just remember, I was just having a little joke there. Sorry. Yeah. Okay. No. It's good to learn about the advanced stuff. Okay. Just joking around. Just joking around. So anyway, Kuba. Okay. I'm sorry, that was a bit naughty. I can't retract any of my commentary here, can I? Can I? Yeah. No. That's the beauty of live commentary, you know? Oh dear. Okay, anyway, so let's play the King's Gambit for a laugh. No, maybe actually, I think it would be it could be really embarrassing to play the King's Gambit. But on the other hand, do you guys dare me? Do you guys dare me? Dare me? King's Gambit. Tell me. King's Gambit. Dare me or not? Or should I just play solid? Solid or dare? Just tell me. Solid or dare? I can play solid, sort of. Dare, Cramlink student. Any other votes? Any other votes? I'm losing on time while this vote's happening. I'm going to play it. Okay. Not too many votes there. Okay. Let's go. King's Gambit. With 30 seconds odds. Okay. Accepted. The King's Gambit accepted. Clearly this is a winning position already. It's the dynamics. Oh, it's just Morphy would be proud. Yeah, it's the dynamics. They're too exciting. The dynamic play here. I'm gonna be eating my words soon, aren't I? But visually, it looks interesting. We've been crushed stylistically the last 15 years by classical chess engines and brute force search mechanisms. But I think liberation is on its way with Leela chess, neural network chess. Just, you were right everyone was right all along. Just play for stuff which looks good. Yeah? Don't be too cynical about it. It looks good. It's just, what is a piece when the pawns are fragmented? In the development? Yeah. You know, we've got to be back to being creative. The new creative post post-classical chess engine era will see the return of creativity on the chessboard. Yeah. The era of pedanticism and technicality could be over, I hope, soon. Okay, so bishop takes f4, c3. Although Demis Hassapis reckons chess is like, if chess is 50% calculation, 50% intuition, he reckons goes like more than, it's much more than, say, 70%, I think, intuition go. Much more intuitive. High branching factor, more of a role for intuition, you can argue, with the high branching factor. Higher in Go than chess. So, but here I'm threatening bishop f7 and bishop g5 already, aren't I? Bishop f7 and bishop g5. What is this? Is Kuba greedy? Greedy? Bishop f7, bishop g5. What is this? What's happening here? I seem to have a good position at the king's gambit. No? Okay, maybe not. e5 here. Is e5 any good, or is this going to backfire? Maybe knight c3, offer the bishop on c4 or e5. Takes bishop c5, king h1. Oh, I'm closing some of my lines. Closing some of my lines. Do I have to? Oh, e5, okay then. I have to close some of my lines here. Well, there's knight d5. I'm going to do knight d5 for a laugh. There's things like bishop b7 maybe in the mix. So queen side, king side. Okay, queen b3 reminds me of Morphy against Morphy opera game. Queen b3 hitting f7 and b7. Okay, let's go for e6. This looks really visually crushing if I can get in e6. When I say visually crushing, I mean, truly mean visually crushing here. All the pieces are on the first row here. As Kuba played in my hand, into my hands. This looks like devastation. Am I wrong? Is there a backfire? Is there a horrible technicality here? Blowing me away? This looks as though the king's been opened up. Like a can of sardines. No? I did miss the check, to be fair. Bishop d6. And I'm thinking bishop d6, bishop e5, knight e5, bishop d6, for rook f7, for rook e7, bishop d6, rook d8. Bishop d6, rook d8 is a pain, isn't it? Oh, is it bishop a3? Is it a pain? Is it a pain? I don't know. Bishop a3 for rook f7. Rook f7 for bishop e7. Surely rook d8 is needed, otherwise I crash through with rook f7. There could be a counter queen sack, rook d6, queen d6, king f7, queen e6. Okay, rook f7 threatened. Rook d8, calculate rook d8, bishop e7. Oh, there's queen e7 here. This is a nice checkmate. What more do you guys want from me? Yeah, I'm the one playing with some style now. Yeah, what more do you want from me? Yeah, are you entertained? Entertained? Are you? Tell me. Okay, sorry. Okay, let's go. Another one. Come on. What was that? Gladiator. Classic film. Classic. If you haven't seen The Gladiator, rent it. See it as quickly as possible. Gladiator. I think it's like one of the #1 films of all times. A bit of trivia for you. I hope everyone knows what were the 2 main languages the Romans spoke. 2 main languages. Tell me. Everyone know? What 2 main languages did they speak? And what was the original language? Bonus points. Okay, bishop d7, queen c8. Okay. No one's saying, okay, I think it was originally Latin and then later Greek, but yeah, Latin was the main thing. I wondered what the point of Latin was, yeah. Okay, but I think it was originally Latin, yeah. Okay, I was looking it up the other day, just recently. I like to watch the chase and look everything up around it. When I generally do a wiki search, watch quiz programs, then do a wiki search after. I find it interesting. Recently. Okay, you can even, here's another tip for you to increase your general knowledge. If you ever get Alexa, this is one of my favorites. You just say wiki and then like Roman Empire and it will start reading from wiki. Simple as that. It's worth getting Alexa just for wiki searches, you know? I don't know if anyone's found that. If you're thinking about getting Alexa and thinking there's no point, it just plays music, wrong. It makes it very convenient. You're watching. Can you imagine? You're watching a quiz program, and there's something you haven't heard of. You just do wiki and then the name, and it tells you about it. Yeah, or you can just look it up on wiki yourself. Okay, so knight h4. Okay. Okay, 3 main causes for the fall of the Roman Empire. No, I didn't look at this up. 3 main causes. Tell me, what are the top 3 main causes? Okay, I remember doing this in history. Okay, 3 main causes. h4, knight f7. Queen e8 for h5 maybe. Fuchsia, economic dependency on slavery and expansion. Okay, good point. h5 for knight h7. Or not? Is that too dangerous here? Knight f7 or knight h7? It looks a little bit on the pack. Why am I getting squished here? This is really out of order for me to being squished here. Out of order. I don't want a dislocated pawn. Oh, I'm being squished here. Okay. What about queen f7, bishop e8? Queen f7, bishop e8. Carry on, folks. Yeah, and Christianity, you think as well? Yeah. I'll have to look this up after. Okay. So bishop e8 for queen h5. What about king h8, bishop e8? I'm in a bit of a passive state here, aren't I? Queen h5. He just plays queen h3 and then g4. I achieved nothing with this queen h5. He's just going to play queen h3 and g4. Okay, at least I stop knight h5 for a moment. So have I got any sneaky plans? I'm cramped here. It's cramped. Cramped. Any sneaky plans? I'm thinking b6 could create an outside pass pawn potentially after c takes. Let's try for an outside pass pawn. Or frontal attack on c pawn. If ab. Oh, what's this? What's this? Why give that pawn up? Is this a fragmentation strategy all of a sudden? Rook a3, right, it is a fragment. Okay, a4 holds that pawn. Rook b8 to rook b4. Rook b4 looks plausible. So I'm playing on the queen side here. Rook b4. This knight's not very happy on h7. It's waiting for h5 for knight g5 though. It is waiting for an opportunity. In the meantime, let's push these guys over here. Maybe rook b3 here. Or a5. Rook b3 hits g3 as well, actually. Now I'm ready for a4 after that. So I'm hitting g3. I'm ready for a4. Now there is knight h4. I can get ready for that with this, and then knight g5, which the knight was ready for. So I can still try and get an outside pass pawn now with a3 and b2. I can take that exchange off en route. b2 coming up. Alright, thanks for the game, big boy. Okay, Kramnik students. Kramnik student. Did we play a French defense once or twice? I have some leverage here. I've read about the knight c6 in Watson's Dangerous Weapons book, but this doesn't look great, I gotta say. What do I do here? This doesn't look clever. Okay, let's just close. Knight b8 for bishop a6. Try and get rid of this attacker. Leave the bishop on c1 without the light square bishop. Underdevelop with purpose. There's no trap here because this is not check. Maybe bishop a6 immediate, but a5 on the other hand speeds a lot of things up. If the pawn's on a5. I think I might be interested in a4 later. I don't want to have to move the knight away. Right, there is knight f8 here for a moment. Now h5, any check here is g6. I kick this knight. That's useful for g5 later in any case. Also maybe even knight h7 and g5. Check here g6 is possible. In fact, g6 might be desirable. Any h4, h5, I think there's g5. This might be desirable for a moment. Take this slowly. a5, bishop a6. Okay, h5, g5, he's got a pass pawn. Can play queen d2 to stop g5. Would he do that? Carry on with this plan. Bishop a6. Queen d2, bishop a6, h5, g5 is not that attractive anymore. So queen d2 might actually prompt me to do something else. Maybe h5, h5 doesn't look desirable. Oh! Okay, any knight g5, bishop g5, and fg, where does the knights play? I got to stop h5. I mean, that's priority. Maybe knight h7 to challenge this knight, rather than give up the dark square bishop immediately. Knight takes, h takes, h takes. Okay, let's play knight takes. Alright, it's giving me d5. Bishop a6 here. cd, queen d5. Looks okay. This looks okay. More than okay. Why would that be given to me? Oh, there was bishop b4 as well, winning the queen, which I've missed. It's still on the board. Oh, yeah, I missed it. For how long was it there? It was here. There was bishop. Oh, muppets. I'm not looking out for that. I'm thinking positioning. The reason is, you might be wondering why. I'm thinking positioning on both sides of the board. I'm not wanting to allow necessarily pass pawns. I'm not wanting to allow... I've just got other concerns. I wasn't really thinking about this unique position. It occurred around here. There was bishop b4. I don't know if everyone's picked up on that apart from us two, right? So we make ourselves look like total idiots, don't we? And you might be right in some respect, but in another respect, we're trying to think positionally. I think that's my excuse anyway. I'm thinking positionally, right? I'm not expecting a tactic like bishop b4. In fact, the whole point of a5 wasn't any tactic support, by the way. It was just so the knight wasn't blocking the a pawn. So this is why this tactical stuff, it doesn't occur. It's just not on the radar. It's not on the radar. So bishop b4, it just wasn't on the radar. Computer. What do you have to say for yourself, Kravnik? Kravnik, what? C4? Tell me, what's your excuse? Tell me, what's your excuse? My excuse, as I say, I'm thinking positionally that the d5 square was weak. So yeah, I missed it again. Bishop b4. I thought positionally this was desirable for me. If I could get rid of the bishop, have the blockade on d5. Yeah, okay. Finally, I kind of noticed it here. Somehow, I think I can tell you even why I've noticed it here. There's a reason I've noticed it here. It's to do with just physics. Because my attention of my eyes is literally a bit further up the board, and I'm thinking... Then I did start noticing bishop b4, but I didn't before because I was too... Yeah, okay. Anyway, let's move on from that. Let's move on from that game. Okay, let's go on. There's no excuses. This is what you expect from Blitz. Okay. Okay, bog standards set up. To start off with. Now maybe d4 is a concern. Can I play knight d4 here? I think I should play knight d4. Now, if a5, a3, knight b3 wins an exchange, but what would be the point of a5 other than set a trap? Is there any point? No, a6 for b5 is setting the trap anyway. If he plays a4, knight b3, it's more than just about the trap though. a6 has a positional point to it. It's nice it sets the trap, but it has actually got a positional point to play b5 here. Okay. Yeah, traps shouldn't be aimed for. They should be a side effect without compromising one's position. Now, it seems a downer here, downside, that b5 has been permitted. It is activating my rook. So I'm not entirely displeased with this situation. Okay, d4 is more vulnerable now. Is that actually is a real problem, right? That is a real problem that I've just created for myself. I can take on e2 though. Why did I create that? Why did I do that? Okay, maybe that wasn't needed. Didn't need to do that. I'll take on e2 then. I think bishop c5 is threatened. I got all these pieces on the back row. Bishop c5. And queen c7 is knight d5. Okay. Rook b4. Just to provoke b3. Bishop c5, rook c4. Might be interesting. Queen a5 here. No, queen d7. Queen a5 runs into knight d5. Queen d7 looks awkward, but I can't see anything else, to be honest. It keeps the queen protected, so there's no bishop c5. Knight d5, rook can go back. Bishop b7, bishop c5 again comes across because of... No, knight e6, knight f6 protects the queen. Okay. Bishop b7 might be viable. I think I'm holding against queen e7 because of knight f6. I can counterset the knight. Knight e7, queen e7. f6, f6 takes, the knight's holding f6. He takes, yeah, the e-file's locked down. Backward pawn on e-file. I can't really do e6 without any f6, and I'll probably lose immediately. Near to immediate after king h8, queen h6 hitting the rook. It looks horrible. f6 might be a necessary evil. Knight f4, it goes into e6. There's knight c7 there. fg, hg. Maybe f6 is a necessary evil here. Oh. Okay. I'll take. And then e6. No, F E F E. Rook F8. On f6, there's knight f6, rook f6, bishop d5 for king f6. Is that actually possible? On knight f6, no, you can just play knight f6. So e6, f6. If the rook's there, he can't play knight f6 because of the queen hanging. So let's imagine rook e5, e6, f6. Oh, wow. There. Okay, didn't expect that. I think that simplifies a bit for me because I think there's simply e6 here on rook e5. Isn't that just e6, just using the pin shielding? Okay, there's queen c3 maybe. f6. Queen c3, f6. Okay, if I play f6 here. I don't want to run into the check winning my queen particularly. Queen c7 again, both pieces are hanging. There's rook e6. Queen b6, rook e7, rook f7. There's no queen f6, there's knight f6. So I think queen c7 is plausible. Oh, he's holding the b6 knight. No, he's not. Bishop g2, rook b6. So I'll take here and take on b6. I'll try and hold the second row. Did he have rook e8 just then? I'll throw this check to give the knight a square. Alright, covering all the squares, aren't they? The knights. Covering e8. Let's go for queen d4. The queen moves queen g3. Oh, I think I felt intuitively let off, you know, when... I'll tell you where I felt let off, just intuitively was here. I thought this constant f6 issue was a real pain. It turns out rook takes is possible there. And if e6, I think this is just losing, isn't it? Alright, not because of f6. I thought this line, okay, should be okay. Because even, I think the king's carnivorous here. There's actually an idea of king f6 popping out to dinner. I don't know if the king lives to tell the tale. Maybe. It's okay for black. But I thought the whole f6 was released. The whole f6 stuff was released when white played this. However, it is a strong way of playing it. It is given actually as the second strongest move, fg. Oh, there's a move here, rook h5. Apparently it's just enough for a draw though. Hang on, taking... No, now white's winning. It's changed its mind. It's actually changed its mind. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Queen c3 was played. f6 apparently is equal. Bishop h3 is possible here. And white's slightly better even after this. It's very, very tactical, isn't it? This is winning for white. Everything's falling off. So bishop h3 here. This is just losing. So bishop h3 here, but also it seems rook h5 here. This vindicates. Intuitively, I felt FG was wrong, but actual concretely, it's working. Very nice. Rook h5. That was a bit dodgy, wasn't it? I mean, there was some tactics as well elsewhere. Okay, but let's go on to another challenge. Cobra, I think wanted to play. Okay. Hi, Cobra. Okay. One of my most painful chess experiences ever was playing in an all-play-all for an IM norm once, and I wasn't that good. I think I'm better now, but I was young. I played in this all-play-all for an IM norm. I got smashed, but there was one game I remember in this Slav Gambit. I did hold this 2400 plus player to a draw after a grueling 80 move game, and it was in this Gambit system. So I'm still fond of this Gambit against the Slav. It was one of my painkillers for the tournament. But yeah, I think one has to be wary about not playing an all-play-all when one is the weakest player, because it's rather like throwing blood to sharks, basically, because then you get sensed as being like the weakest player and everyone will try their best to squeeze out a win from you. So yeah, if you want chess as if you're masochistic in nature though, and you do get a chance to be the weakest player in a chess all-play-all for one day a game, yeah, then that's good for masochism. Alternatively, nowadays, what you could do, instead of those 7 days, you could just hire a few films on Netflix. and there's some very interesting programs about emerging AI technologies. You could do that instead. Or you could play an all-play-all. No, but seriously, the Swiss tournaments are a bit safer. If you're up and down and you want a variety of opposition, Swiss tournaments remain a bit of a safety net. But if you're doing badly, you can sometimes play someone a bit weaker again, a bit weaker until one day, in a Swiss you can sometimes win, hopefully. So anyway, yeah. Anyone plays an all-play-all? So that brought back memories, yeah. Okay. Let's stop. There's always c5, isn't there? e5 is actually more in my comfort zone because of d5. At least I'm blunting the bishop. So, in other words, let's just wait for let's just protect this bishop. I think maybe a flexible way might be rook c2 for rook d2. e5, d5, c5, d5. Oh, hang on, ed, hang on. Hitting my queen d5. Is that end of the world? That might not be the end of the world. c5, d5, ed. f4 here seems more palatable, almost. think... no, I'll wait for either c5 or e5 still. I think I'm ready for e5 with d takes now, actually. I'm noticing d takes. c5, I think there's d5. Or is there? Maybe my queen shouldn't be in the firing line. So in other words, maybe something like queen f4 is handy. There's bishop g5 winning exchange. Oh, crikey. Oh, this has gone to pot, hasn't it? This position. Mind you, I've got the bishop pair. While I've got the bishop pair, I got some hope. Do I take that? Well, there's queen g4, d4 though. So might as well just take that. That's not a nice outcome. It's lost. That's a shame. Try and get some sort of fortress. Although I'm losing another pawn there. I'm trying to control energy point. This is not very good, is it? Odds of exchange down. Hang on. It's bishop c7. Might be a little bit of a lucky break. I hope. Because then these pawns are forked by the bishop. The bishop does have a hobby, I hope, of munching pawns on dark squares. Here. Bring the king up. Oh, that's interesting. Because I can undermine basically that pawn chain. I go for an aggressive king for f6. Go for f6. At the right time, let's just try and hold on to f6. I can only win on time. I'm going to try and win on time here. Well played. After bishop g5, I was just on a total back foot. I just trying to keep the breaks out, and I was just on the back foot. It's just a matter of finishing me off after this. Oh, just one casual move. I wanted to keep an eye on e5. Let's have a quick look at that. Oh, one casual move. I think surely I was okay here. I think, let's see, h4 is a useful move. And I think c5, there might actually be d5. Or not. No, apparently not. But better is, anyway, better is bishop takes. It's just, I think black's equal here. Totally equal here, and then just better. Slight let back in the game occurred later with this bishop c7. Slight, I thought I was let back in the game, especially, well, here obviously I was let back in the game a bit. I just tried to make some problems. Sometimes there's some mating net potential. Okay, alright, anyway, I hope you enjoyed this week's session. Very well played, Cobra. Well played all, and especially Cobra. Alright, until next week, have a good Sunday. Thanks so much. Cheers then.